Give me a signal when.
Rotate device. It didn't warn me, that's it.
Did it go away?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you can't change it.
Let me know when. Is it live? You should see like.
Working on dog training is now live, yeah. Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Lisa Lima. I'm here with Dog Training Does Matter here in South Florida. We got Tom Savaka all the way over there with Coco. And we're going to work on healing. Here's our group for today. Everyone want to do wave to the camera? So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a demo of what we're doing today. We're going to work on some attention healing or contact healing. You guys who were here last week, most of you were here last week, you saw a little bit of a demo on this. I'll show you another one, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to show you all of the steps to practice this. We decided to do some healing because a couple people in our group said that they thought it was pretty cool when they saw the demo. So that's what I'm going to give you guys today. It's my Christmas gift to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. It's the end of 2020. All right, so I'm going to just do a little bit of some walking. This is called a contact heel. And what you're going to see with Darwin is he's always making contact with me. So his job is to find my right leg and continue to keep himself close to it. Walk. So now if I go backwards, he should continue to keep that contact with my right leg. Walk. If I turn, again, continue to keep that contact. You'll also see how he's level in the sense that he's looking at the same direction as I am. And that's part of something that I taught him. Have you guys ever heard of rear end awareness? So rear end awareness is basically teaching your dogs that they have a rear end. Rear end awareness. A lot of dogs don't realize that they have a butt. And especially, it's like the bigger your dog is, the more they realize that they don't have a butt. And you kind of got to teach them that they do. Because otherwise what happens is when you start to do stuff like this, they rear out. And they don't know how to tuck themselves in. So that's part of what kind of goes on here, is that learning to just kind of tuck in. Now, if I go around in a circle, he doesn't have to pay as much attention to his butt, but he does have to speed up in order to stay with me. What happens when I go this way is he needs to slow his pace down almost to a stop, but he needs to continue to pull his butt in. If I walk forward, he gets to stick with me. That's a little easier. Walking backwards, he just has to think about going backwards straight, which is it's funny, it's a really hard concept for dogs to learn. So, here's the steps to kind of teach this. We got 3 steps. My first thing that I always like to talk about and always like to pull in when it comes to training dogs, no matter what you're teaching, is engagement. Engagement means that your dog knows that you're there and your dog wants to interact with you. Engagement is fun, should be a fun, happy game. There should be, I like to use lots of treats, lots of praise, and make it lots of fun. And I don't typically, when I teach engagement, Darwalk, when I typically teach engagement, I will not do a whole lot of obedience within that time frame. Because I really want to teach my dog that I'm fun and I want them to kind of ignore what's around them. But I don't need them to be doing a whole lot of obedience then and there. Because if I do too much obedience, then I start to not get as much, hit my goals as much when it comes to engagement. So with really young puppies especially, what I'll do is I'll go out into a variety of different environments and I'll grab some treats and I'll just do stuff like this. Yes. 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 Now watch when I'm marking him. When I say yes, a treat comes. Yes. Yes. I want you guys to tell me, whoever kind of whatever you guys see going on right now, I want you to kind of just shout out, what do you think is happening right now? What am I communicating with him? Yes. It's fun. Yeah. What else? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Every time he follows me, yes, I'm rewarding him. What is he not doing? Yes. Yes, exactly. He's not looking around. He is not trying to sniff the flowers. He's not trying to play with the other dogs. Yes. Yes, his eyes are on me. This makes healing a whole lot easier. He's already following me. Yes. You guys all have your treats? All right. So we're going to split our game up into a few different segments. You good? We're going to split our game up into a few different segments. I want you guys to just kind of work with your dogs doing this kind of activity. Have some treats. Make it lots of fun for them. Yes, if they don't come over to you, use your leash. Your leash is like a steering wheel when it needs to be. Now, make sure you guys give each other adequate space. Please do social distance, both yourselves and your dogs. Safety. You guys are welcome to use the entire parking lot. And then after a little bit of working on that, I'll call you guys back and we'll all gather over here and we'll go on to part 2. Sound good? All right. Okay, come on. He goes.
More maybe. What's your schedule for the next days? I'll explain to you after.
I'm leaving tomorrow. We'll figure it out. Good job, guys. Nice job. That's good stuff. I'm going to give you guys another minute or so. I see a lot of nice stuff happening. Is he into the treats?
So I have to have him, when I stop, sit and be very calm in the hospital.
Absolutely.
Because when you go room to room, every child's different.
Yeah.
And my last shepherd had it down, not 99, 100%.
So he's following. You're following in his footsteps, huh?
But he's doing, from the other night, his healing was, but I've got him now a couple steps, stop, and he's learning now that
Good job.
I want to walk without, sit.
Great job.
Sit, that's a good one. I think one of the things that I remember that I learned was when your dog runs, and then when he comes back, you beat him. So
Yeah, don't chase him.
And people would try to correct him, like, well, that just teaches to me that when people think that I'm going to get hit. So now, when he did a couple of times, he started and he came back, I rewarded him. So now when he sees me, he runs back because he knows he's getting a treat. It's just all about treats. I did it for a long time, and I didn't know what I was doing. Sit down. Sit down. Yeah, he was all locked up And see, he was in a caged-in area for 2.5 years. He never went anywhere. So I didn't realize it. When I got him, and I'm taking him out, everything's brand new to him. He didn't know about cars and trucks and buildings and people. He was in a cage the whole time. So he didn't know about anything. So it was really an experience that I had to remember. We went somewhere, I had to give him a couple minutes to look around and go in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sit down.
Good
I gotta have
boy.
them, as soon as I stop, sit down, you know. And it's funny, when you put the vest on them, they do get a little more workish. Does that sound logical?
Yeah, definitely.
They
Definitely
learn.
accurate with the service dogs too.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Let's gather around again, back in our spots. I see some really good stuff happening. Good job. Great job, guys. What'd you guys think? Good stuff? A little different? Maybe a little bit more engagement? It's kind of a fun activity to be able to just kind of go out with your dog, not have to worry about much obedience, but just rewarding them for paying attention to you. That could also be a really cool game for dogs that are a little bit overexcited or even overstressed in certain environments. Just pulling out the cookies and like working with them a little bit and making it real positive and easy. You guys ever notice when you go somewhere new, or if you like get somewhere, the first 5 minutes your dogs are just like, ooh, what's that? What's this? What's over there? What's coming? You know, they're just excited. They're a little distracted. That's a really cool warm-up game to do with them, because you're not instilling any bad habits, but you're also teaching your dogs what to do in the most exciting part of that particular situation. So if they can work with you when they're most excited, everything else becomes easy. So the other part, we got engagement. The other part of this is a lot of times when we teach our dog heeling, we often communicate to them what we don't want, right? So when we're walking, what I see a lot of people do is initially when they teach their dogs how to heel is they'll stop or correct them when their dogs are pulling, which is great. That's great communication. So what happens over time is that the dog starts to realize, oh, hey, I'm not going anywhere if I'm pulling. But then you get a dog that knows what the rules aren't, and we're not teaching them exactly what the rules are. And this is the part that I love the most. So this is where you get the kind of heel that I get with my dogs, whether it's a contact heel or just an attention heel where your dog is looking up at you. You're gonna grab those treats or a toy or whatever motivates your dog, and you're gonna teach them in baby steps what you do want. So the way that it's gonna work is you're gonna have a cookie. And what I like to do for this is I like to teach my dogs a touch command. So I'll take a dog and I'll have them just touch my hand. I'll put the treat in my hand. I'll have them touch my hand. And then when they touch it, they get a treat. Who's hungry? Can I borrow a puppy? Thank you. Oh. Good job, Bubba's. I know. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my hand out. Yes. So now the game is a little different. A little bit the same, a little bit different. Yes. Yes. And when I'm ready, I can add a command to it. Yes. Touch. Yes. Attaboy. Touch. Yes. Touch. Yes. Touch. Yeah, good job. Yes. Touch. Yes. Touch. Yes. Very good. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, oh, these are harder to break. Touch. Yes. So now look, I get to walk. He's like, oh, that was good. I get to walk, touch. Yes. And he has to catch up now. It's a game. All right, you're gonna get a big piece here. Touch. Woo! Yes. And that's when you start to get a heel. Did you see him kind of learning to that heel position? Yeah. Popeye. Oh, there you are. Where'd you go? All right, so I'm going to let you guys kind of work on that a little bit. Remind me to talk to you about his prong a little bit. It could be a little on the smaller side, a little higher up. It's a little dangly, but we'll talk about that. All tools tools are used for different reasons. So I know a few of you are have your dogs on prongs, and that's great. I love working with prongs as needed. But if they should also be properly fitted. So if anyone needs help a little bit, I can help you with that as well. All right, I'm gonna let you guys spread out, work on that a little bit again, and just have fun. Feel free to grab treats. Remember, they're behind the polar bears' butts. How do you make this turn around? No, I mean like to my face. Oh, hi. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to post them. We're probably gonna be live for another 5 minutes or so. So feel free to post your questions now and I'll try to get to them as quickly as possible. And so yeah. Do you know how to check for questions? You could turn it around. So all of these right here, just check if anybody, because you'll see them come in. So just kind of keep an eye on that. Nice, that looks good. Look at him, he looks really good.
Oh, he's doing most of the healing. From the other day, I couldn't walk with the leash, you know. That's it.
That looked nice. That looked really nice. I want to see that again. Nice. He looks like a show dog. Dad. Grab this guy a little bit. Good job, Riley. He's doing really well.
He's good.
He's like all about the food. It's so fun. I love seeing shepherds work.
Wow, you got engagement.
You're gonna start getting a prance there really soon. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. If you guys haven't given your dog a break, If you have like a few treats out, you can just keep treating him, retreating him again. He's getting there. He's not checking out as much in between. They kind of, it's like they have a timer in their heads. So then when they get a treat, after a while, they start to realize, okay, well, I got about 3 seconds until the next one comes out. So then they start to check out. But you got him. Which one? Bella? Oh, I didn't even see the little guy. There you go. Yeah, you probably like take a couple lengths out.
I took already 2 out at home. So when I take 1 more out,
And you were so
it
cute.
makes it really tight on me.
Gotcha.
To put it on and
I might get him like a smaller size.
Well, then that's what I originally ordered, a smaller one, and it was too small. So
I would do.
I went bigger, the biggest thing, and it was like really tight on me. Like, oh no.
So, no, like one of the like 3mm ones. I can show you what it looks like after class, and then add lengths. So you can get extra lengths so that way it fits around his neck. But typically you'd use like the big ones for dogs that have a lot of hair. All right, you guys got about 2 minutes. Anything you want to add before I close the live?
I'm afraid to say anything.
Why? I already introduced you, and they're hearing you right now.
I think this is really encouraging for everybody to practice, see, and understand the engagement is what they want to end up doing, because most of everything, especially with a dog, is all based upon the interaction with the action with their handler. And to encourage that relationship is so important, because most of the complaints are, I love my, what you hear most of the time is, I love my dog, but it doesn't listen, or I wish my dog would listen better. And that all starts with a basic. So, so any of the interactions, whether it's like looks like obedience, or you're just teaching the dog a trick, or you're just interacting with the dog and communicating in a way that the dog understands. So much, most of the time, we goof up because we don't realize that the dog, we think that we can talk our way into communicate with a person or a dog the same way because we just talk a lot. Dogs don't talk that way, don't communicate that way. Dogs communicate non-verbally. So most of the time you have to learn how to, or be remembered or reminded how to communicate non-verbally with a dog. But try to explain to a dog what you want is like speaking French to somebody who doesn't. Just you end up talking louder, yelling louder. You grab the dog by the collar and the back of the neck, and then dragging it around like as if it's going to understand better because you're talking loud. But the truth is, it just doesn't communicate that way in most cases.
Definitely. That's why it's such a cool exercise what we're doing right now, like teaching them exactly what we want and not just what we don't want.
Yeah, encouraging behaviors you want and discouraging behaviors you don't want. But it all starts with the ability to communicate to your dog, or the ability for your dog to understand what you want. And we all know that if we pick up the collar, if we're in the house and we pick up the leash, the dog knows we're going to go for a walk and the dog's all excited. Or if you say walk, the dog gets all excited. But why doesn't that work when you say the dog's name? You say the dog's name, half of the pet dogs won't even pay attention. But they know words. They know words like walk or car. If you say car, they're going to get all excited. So we need to convey that same mentality with the words, their name.
Yeah.
Not saying their name in front of them unless you're talking to them.
Yeah, it's just such a simple thing, but it like goes a long way. Especially when you think about engagement. Like you want your dog to react when you say their name, not to tune it out.
Yeah, it's just one of the first things I say to people is don't say your dog's name in front of them unless then you don't realize that when you say car or walk or out, they get all excited, and you think, well, why don't they do that when you say their name?
Yep.
So that doesn't work because they're so used to hearing your name and no interaction.
Dad, I just want to make sure that it doesn't cut the mic off, because if it goes too far, then it starts to cut off. Yeah, no, because we were talking a little bit and then you started moving away.
Can you see like the device connected or disconnected or how it works?
I just keep
It's
making
there.
No, I mean like is there indications that
It's just here. A couple of LEDs.
it would change if the light went off?
It would, yeah, it would go
Go
off.
red?
It might.
No, I mean it would.
While you're talking,
it
it's
would
like
go.
greenish. It goes
It would go
greenish.
off.
Yeah, so if we go too far.
Let me play with this a little bit. I just want to see comments.
Just bring the. Just wanted it lower angles so they can see the pub.
Oh, okay, cool. They're giving you guidance. I love that. Good job, guys.
That was it.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Got one more segment, then we'll close out, and then we'll finish up practice. Way to go. Look at that little guy. All right, so third piece of the healing puzzle, the healing picture. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a little bit of rear end awareness, so that way you can start to work a little bit on turns with your dogs. So again, treats. This time I'm going to try to break these up. Actually, make my life easier. Thank you, Rick. All right, so I'm gonna have my treats broken up here. Anything that came up, any challenges or any questions that you guys had while you were working with your dogs? I know we had talked a little bit while everyone was working about the dogs kind of checking out after a treat. If you find that your dogs are checking out, and this is kind of common, like, you know, you give your dog a treat and then they go, okay, I got my treat. Like, the dog sit, treat, and then they're like, oh, okay, what's over here? So if you find that that's happening, what I want you to do is up the ante with your treats. So you're gonna throw your dog off by making them think that there's always another treat coming right after they get the other treat, or they never know when the treats are gonna stop. So one thing that I like to do with my dogs is if I'm working on healing, I'll have maybe, like, if you can fit a few in your hand, you can try that. So have like a few treats, and then you treat one as your dog's healing, and then their attention, when they're eating one treat and their attention starts to divert, you're gonna re-engage them again, make them walk again, and then treat them. And then once they get that other treat, re-engage them again, and then treat them again, so that they don't know when the treats are really gonna go. Because they start, after time, our dogs pick up on everything. It's amazing. Like, they just know, after a while, they start to figure out how long it's gonna take before you give them another treat, or have another treat ready from your pocket in order to give it to them. They start to pick up on those cues. So it's kind of good to kind of throw them off that momentum a little bit. All right, let me have, can I have this guy? Jackson. Hi, handsome. Hi. Oh my gosh, yes, you're perfect, you're hungry. Alright, so here's a little rear end awareness for you guys. There's lots of ways to work on teaching your dog that they have a butt, but one of the things that I really like to work on is circles. So when you turn, Yes. When you turn, when you like make like a right turn, right? You see how he's following my hand, he's following my treat, but he's still a little bit like out. So this is what a right turn looks like. So what I want to do is break that up into pieces for him. So I'm going to do circles. And when I do these circles, you can see he's much more in line with where I want him to be. So over time, I just make these circles smaller. And then you start to teach, yes, then you start to teach that like slowing down of pace, but at the same time keeping in line parallel with where I'm looking or with where I'm going. Yes. I'm also luring him, so I'm kind of building my expectations now. So before we were treating our dogs every time they touched our hand, and now I'm making him follow my hand for a period of time, yes, before he actually gets a treat. So I'm building on that same criteria in order to shape, and shaping is a thing. There's lots of ways to train our dogs. Shaping is when you build on criteria over a period of time in order to teach your dog what it is that you want them to learn, yes. The other thing that I want you guys to see is when I work with him, my treat is not here, but now it's tucked underneath my thumb. And the reason why is because I can block his head. Now dogs are like horses, right? Not in size, well, some of them in size, but they're like horses because wherever you can get the head to go, you can get the body to go, yes. So if I have a treat here, he can come in from this angle, he can come in from this angle, Jackson can come in from this angle, but if I have the treat tucked in my thumb, I can block him now from coming in from this angle. Watch how his butt's gonna start to kind of turn. Yes. So I can start to mark that now. Little baby steps of shifting his butt, yes. And I'm not gonna expect perfection right now. I just want him to get the idea, like, oh, she likes when I turn my butt closer. Yes, there we go. Good job. Good boy. Yeah. So try that a couple more times just to kind of help him figure it out. So he can see like there's a pattern with what I'm asking him to do. Yes, good boy, Jackson. So again, just kind of luring him and keeping him focused on the treat. Yes, now he's figuring it out until he actually makes that pivot, and then I can reward him. So that's a right kind of turn for you guys. And then a left turn. Left turns are a little bit easier if you have a dog that's energetic. But if you have a dog that kind of lags a little bit, then left turns can get a little tougher. So what you want to do is make sure you're keeping your hand in the place that you want your dog in. So I want my dog's head here. I'm not going to treat them up here because look what happens. And if I treat them down here, then I'm teaching my dog to lag. So I'm going to keep my hand up here. And I'm just going to encourage the dog. If Jackson was lagging right now, all I would do is tell him, oh, come on, let's go, get it, yes. So that way they learn that's where I need to be. And then over time, you're just going to build that with your left turns. Again, you can do those big circles. So that way they learn they have to pick up their feet in order to keep up with you. And this also, doing circles also gives your dog a chance to get in the rhythm of an actual turn or pace change. Right here, come on. And again, using your leash, you can use your leash as a steering wheel. So if I see him lagging behind, I'll tug him a little bit just to encourage him. Yes. Okay, you can have that whole thing. So, any questions?
No, that was.
That was cool.
Could you take him on heel? I have a hard time getting him behind
Yeah.
the leg.
Yeah. Absolutely. I will take him for you and I'll work with him a little bit. Let me close this Facebook Live out, and then I'll take turns. Actually, I'll go to everybody at some point. Just take turns kind of working with you guys. But go ahead and work on that a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of time. I'm going to close this Facebook Live out, and then all my attention will be with you guys. Woo. Thank you guys for tuning in. So South Florida, did you see my shorts? I'm wearing shorts today. I don't get to wear shorts in Colorado. At least not now. All right, see you guys later. And Tom, you want to wave bye? Bye, guys. Okay, do you know how to, because it's just the